Jason Plato, welcome back. All those retirement parties that had to be cancelled, we're not resentful or anything, but tell us a little bit about the thought process and what happened between your decision to call it a day and your decision to come back and really have another crack at it.
It's a long answer, actually, because there's three strands to it. First and foremost, I wanted to be in control of my exit. And the way that touring cars has evolved over, the last few years, because of my requirements within the team, there's less and less opportunities for me to strike the right commercial deal which works for me with a team that I want to drive with. And I don't want to be left in a situation where the music stops at the end of the year and I can't find a deal which works for me, so then I just drift off. That was primarily why I wanted to say, right, at the end of this year, that's it. And then there's the other thing where I think it's fair to say probably I'm slightly typecast in the world of motorsport, that people assume that I'm going to do touring cars every year. So other opportunities might not come up. People might not think of me in terms of GTs or doing Le Mans, and I desperately want to do that. And also the third one is I still feel really strong and good and healthy and fit in the car and still able to do my job and to be competitive. But that's not going to last forever. So I'm 55 this year. Is that going to remain until I'm 60? I hope so. So that gives me 5 years to do other stuff.
Yeah.
But what I don't want to do is I don't want to do other forms of motorsport if I know deep down inside I can't do the job. And ultimately that will come and bite me at some point. So I kind of want to, I want 5 years in my head to think about other things. And I mean, I always said I'll do Le Mans when I grow up, and I'm nearly there,
we had wondered.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other thought must have been, if I'm going to leave touring car racing, I want to go out on a high. And this team offers you that opportunity, doesn't it?
Without a shadow of a doubt. In my short time here, even within a day, just going to the workshops, seeing how they were operating. Obviously, I was fully aware of Josh's pace last year. I mean, he won equal amount of races to Ash Sutton, and arguably should have won more. There was a couple of errors. They had some mechanical issues. But when they were right in the thick of things, just after I'd done the deal with Steve Dudman, they were working 24-hour days endlessly, and yet everything was still sharp and precise. And it's a great outfit. There's a very good depth of experience, engineering skill and not knowledge here, and they do stuff right. So yeah, and also they've got this thing called a Honda, which has been my nemesis, and I've always looked at it that it does stuff. It's got certain attributes on track which are really quite amazing, and now I can feel them rather than it's to my benefit rather than being the enemy. And I have to say, it's a great car.
So
really
watching from afar, you were able to sense the strengths of the car, the weaknesses of the car, and your experience now confirms those.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and this is, we've seen this for maybe 5-6 years. The Honda is always very good in the fast corners, but more importantly, off the fast corners. If you think of, say, Croft, where you've got Barcroft, in most cars that I've driven, that's a bit edgy around there. In this, it's not. But the most important thing is off Barcroft, it's stable and it brakes well, and it brakes better than any other touring car I've driven for many years. And that's been much of an annoyance racing against the things. Now I'm in it, hopefully I can use it to my advantage.
And hybrid at 50-odd years old, are you still prepared to take on all the new learning processes that are required?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to this, what hybrid will bring us this year. If you'd asked me that 3 years ago, I definitely wasn't a fan, because I just thought it was optics. But we were speaking off air, doing the Fifth Gear Recharge show, which is all about electric cars. I didn't like electric cars. Guess why? Because I hadn't driven many. I hadn't.
Certainly not hybrid.
Yeah, that's never going to go electric, is it? But I think what we've got now is it's going to be a challenge for us as drivers and a challenge for the engineers to work out the best way, to optimize the deployment of, our electric motor, which will give us a lap time, but also give us the ability to attack in races and also to defend in races. On all three of those scenarios are different to each other, and they're different to every single circuit because they've got gradients and different rev ranges and all that sort of stuff. And not everyone's going to use it the same. So we'll have to learn on the fly to adapt. And that's a challenge, and that's exciting. And I think that could make a difference this year for who gets it right and who gets it wrong.
And finally, 3 more race wins gets you to 100. Is that a big thing in your mind? It must be.
It's certainly in there. I mean, it's not a big thing because the way I think about it is, yes, it would be lovely to do it, but I'm just focused on making my car as, like a really nice fitting shoe, like a lovely fitting golf club. I want to make it right for me, and if I can get the car doing what I want to, then guess what? We'll be quick. And if we're quick, then I'd like to think my experience and my racecraft will take over, and then we'll win some races. And I think if we can win, if we got real pace, I think we've got a very good chance to do more than 3. So it'll look after itself. But it's a target. But I know what'll happen. I'll get to 100, then I want 101, 102, and so it goes on.
Yeah. I think I speak for everyone, though. Great to have you back in the championship.
Thank you.
You haven't been away, really, but
yeah,
great to have you in the championship.
It's good to be here. I'm really looking forard this year with BTCC. It'll be great.
We all are. Jason, thanks.
You're welcome.